everyone, and welcome to Flosmas Day 12. Hello everyone, welcome to today's video, which is going to be a 2024 finish parade. In case you are new to my channel, my name is Lizzie. I talk about all things cross stitch, sometimes other crafts, but mostly cross stitch or finishing or things related to cross stitch because that is my true crafting love at the moment. Thank you for joining me, and let's go ahead and jump into the finish parade. So I have some numbers for you. These are going to be semi in order. They're kind of in order. I didn't keep super detailed notes this year. I do have the amount of like whips, starts, and things like that. I didn't keep super detailed notes. I do have a cross stitch planner that I'm going to be using in 2025, so I'll have a lot more details for you next year. But I have 50 total finishes, and 8 of them are not being shown here. So 8 of them were gifts, or they are in storage because we moved this year. So there's a few things in storage. Some of them I'll put pictures of in here and there, and I'll let you know when I'm doing that. But we did move this year. So some things are in storage because they're like seasonal and they're fully finished. And then a few of them were gifts, which I did show in like my regular floss tubes, but I don't have them anymore. So let's go ahead and get started because it is going to be a pretty long video. All right, so the first one I have is the first fully finished item I ever fully finished. This is a free pattern, and by the way, I will put links to all the free patterns that I can find below. I should be able to find all of them, but I'll put links to all the free patterns that I mentioned below. This is a Better Homes and Garden freebie. You can find it on their website, and like I said, I'll link it below. It's a little duck boot. I used all the called for flosses. I stitched it on a 14 count white Aida. And I just finished it with a bit of cream and tan cording that I knotted and just have it dangling, which I thought was really cute. And then I have, and it's not the cleanest back finish because I had it like this. And then I was like, oh my God, I was just like laying it out. I was like, it's gonna hang crooked, so I had to move it. But it's okay because that size up against the tree, you don't see it anyway. But yeah. There is that. This is just some Hobby Lobby fabric that I found. Yeah, so there is number 1. All right, number 2 is stitching with the Housewives Carrt Patch. This one is on a 14 count black chalkboard Aida using the called for DMC conversion within the pattern. I stitched it 2/1, all the called for flosses. Really cute. I want to find something to finish that on this year. I'm not sure what I'll finish it as, but I want to find something to finish that on this year. All right, next one is Cup of Christmas Cheer. This is by Brenda Gervias, and sorry, it is a little wrinkled. I have the way I want to finish this planned, so it's kind of in like a finishing, not in a finishing stage, but it was in the box to be finished. I was like, where did I put that when I was looking for it? Anyway, this is a Cup of Christmas Cheer by Brenda Gervias. I stitched it on 36 count flax, and I love the subtlety of that white in there. I think it's really pretty. It's not ghosting a ton, and it does show up better in person than it does on camera, but it's not really ghosting, but you can see it well, but it still is not bold, if that makes sense. Anyway, I really love it. Santa's beard and cheeks, I did 2/2. Everything else, I did 1/2. And then his mustache and his eyebrows also have a satin stitch over it, which the pattern did optionally call for. So there is that one. This was one of my favorite things. I bought this in the new year last year. I'm so glad I got to finish that. I love him. Next is the Erin Elizabeth Designs Winter Tier. This is stitched on a 14 count black chalkboard Aida. This is my first ever stand-up finish. So, oh, there's a little piece of, what is that? Oh, just a fuzzy. Okay. Here it is. I did color convert it to blues. I would not recommend my color conversion. I think some of the blues are a little too close. I would change it a little bit now, but I still think it looks really, really good. You can see the details a little bit better from back here. And I finished this as a stand-up following Helen D's tutorial. I made my own cording to go around it. I just picked a blue and cream out of here and did that. It has a hard base. I hand stitched everything. I don't have a sewing machine, so all this is hand stitched. This is Ruby Star Society Winter Glow. That's that fabric, which is so pretty. I love it. So yeah, there is that one. I love this one. I can't wait to display it this winter. Next pattern is Midnights. This is by Frizzy Lizzy Stitches. I started this the night the Tortured Poets department came out. So that was April 19th, if I'm remembering correctly, and I was really excited about that. So it was a really fun stitch. This is on 32 count Peaceful Purple. Like I said, it's Midnight, and the designer is Frizzy Lizzy Stitches, which you may also know from Floss Tube. Love her floss tubes. This is using the chalkboard flosses, and I stitched it 2/2. I really want to get this in a frame this year. I have a frame picked out. I just need to purchase it and put it in there. I'm a little nervous about framing pieces, so that's why I haven't done it yet, but yeah, I have a frame picked out that I think will be really nice for that. Next is the Summer House Trio by Waxing Moon Designs. This does come with 3 patterns. I only did 1. This was to kind of commemorate the vacation we went on, so I changed a few colors. The house color first I changed to Weeks Dye Works Pumpkin Harvest. It was Blue Jay. I changed 321 to 225. I changed 727 to 25 and 972 to 30. And it's on 14 count French Latte. I'm not sure if I said that. And I stitched it 2/1. So there's that. I did cut off, I believe there's a little bit more at the bottom, and I cut that off. And there are 2 more houses with it, and I have not stitched those yet. This is Fireworks from the Just Cross Stitch Summer 2024 magazine. Has that really cute bunting on the side there. We have the little flag. Little fireworks. This is stitched on 25 count RT steel blue, and I stitched it 2/2, and then I finished it with some patriotic fabric. I like the bunting because it matched the pattern there, and I just did a seam down the center, and I stuffed this with stuffing and then beans. I think dried black beans. Any dried bean would work, but I love the weight it gives it. Because I was trying to buy pellets when I went to the craft store to finish these, but they didn't have any pellets, so I opted for that because I saw somebody on a Facebook group do that one time. Next is one I finished during Christmas in July. This is another freebie. It's from Common Thread Stitchery, which is a Instagram account, and this is from JBW Designs. I stitched it on a 14 count pink, which the pink is not showing up super well. That's a more of a true color of the pink, even though you can't really see the design very well. A 14 count pink that I dyed, and the DMC color I chose was 3813. It's a little stocking there. Next is the Prairie Schooler 12 Days of Christmas Santas. I did have a goal to try to finish these this year, which did not happen. I'm going to put a picture right here of days 1 through 4 because they are in storage. I was hoping, I had thought that I put them in the right Christmas tote because we only pulled out a couple since we had a little bit of a smaller house since we're renting for a little while, and I put them in the wrong tote. So I don't have those, sadly, but here is day 5. This one is stitched on 18 count natural, and it does go all the way down there. It's kind of ghosting, but it's stitched on 18 count natural, and I stitched it 2/1, I believe. Yeah, 2/1, and I changed the red to 817. It's just a black and white checkerboard. There's a little string on that one, and this is Lori Hole Alpine Rickrack. And then we have day 6, which is finished the exact same way, same color changes. And then after 6, I did change the fabric. So that was 18 count DMC natural, and this is 18 count Rustico, and I'll hold them side by side. You can see a little bit of a difference there, but not much. So there is that one. Back here so it'll focus better. And again, finish the same way. I did use white rickrack for this one. I have days 8 through 12 left, and hopefully I can finish those next year. All right, next is another ornament that I finished in Christmas in July. Well, I finished the stitching in Christmas in July, but this is Not a Creature Was Stirring. Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery pattern. It came from another magazine. All of these magazine patterns I got via Readily, which you can get a free month to 2 month, depending on what special they're running subscription, and you can go look at all those magazines digitally if you're interested. This is Not a Creature Was Stirring from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. This is from the Just Cross Stitch 2016 Ornament Magazine, and I stitched it on 18 count Zweigart Vintage 2/1 using the called for flosses. And I just finished it on this little wooden ornament blank. I need to put information on what it is on the back, but this wooden, I need to do that to the back of all of these. I really want to get little patches that I can iron on. But yeah, it's just a little wooden ornament. It was like a 6-pack from Hobby Lobby, I believe. I took the brown from the Gingerbread Man and went around and did that with the cording, tied a little bow, and then in the center of the bow, I put this little gingerbread little thing, I don't know, little wood piece, which is also from Hobby Lobby, which I found in the small ornament section, I do believe. Next, I finished the first one in Christmas in July, so I'm going to go ahead and show you all of them. But this is the Annie B's Folk Art 12 Days of Christmas Stockings. And here is day 1. I'm stitching these all on 14 count black Aida. You guys can see it a little bit better. Here's day 1. I'm using the called for flosses, except one floss I'm like 1 number off of. I think it's a little bit of a lighter green than a darker green, so I accidentally pulled the wrong color. There's 2 turtle doves. I am also using the beads called for. It's hard to see beads on camera, but you can kind of see there. There's some in the middle of those. There's some on the 3. Here's day 3. It's 3 French hens, 4 calling birds, I believe. I think that's right. And then we have 5 golden rings. I know I just showed you these the other day, but for the sake of the 2024 finished braid, I'm going to show them again. 5 golden rings and 6 geese a-laying. So I'm halfway done, which is where I really wanted to get. These were a new pattern that came out in market this year, if you're not familiar with it. I love them. I think I might finish the stitching on all of them before I actually fully finish them. I was kind of like, oh, I'll get halfway done and I'll do it. But I think I might get the stitching done. These go super fast to me, like 2 days, and I can have them done. And like the Prairie Schooler Santas take me a little bit longer. I don't feel like there's too much more stitching. I don't know, maybe it's a little bit more full coverage. But they only take me like 2 days, where I would say this would take me about 3 to 4. Probably 4, depending on, some of them are more heavily full coverage than others, but they take about 4 days. So I can knock those out. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get 12 done before I fully finish them. Anyway, next is the Brenda Gervias with that needle and thread Jelly Bean Jubilee. I stitched 3 patterns from this one. Here is the first one. This one I started to fully finish. I never fully finished a pillow before, and this was my first one, and it's not the best. I didn't even stuff it 'cause I don't like it, but it's still cute. I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to save it and just cherish it when I look through my stash. But this is on, let's see, which one are we on? 18 count natural, whatever one. And I did change the flower color to 352. So there is that one. And then we have the little bunny with his paintbrush. This was the second pillow I ever finished, so he's not the he's not the most perfect, but he's better than the other one. So progress is progress, right? He is on 25 count natural. I stitched him 2/1, and I changed 893 to 963 on this one. And then we have Easter, which was my 3rd pillow finish, and I got it a lot better with this one. I really like this one. And oh, I didn't show you the back of this one. Let me show you. The backs of these do match. There's the back of that one, and then here is the back of this one. This is all 3 of these are from the Jelly Bean Jubilee by Brenda Gervias, and the color I changed on this one is I subbed 3865 for 3864, which is the color of the bunny, so I made it a brown bunny just so it would show up on my fabric. Down by the Chimney is next. This is another Christmas in July finish. Well, I started in Christmas July. I don't think I finished it in Christmas July, but it is on 32 count chestnut using over dyes except for 3371 and the white. It's with spinach and Cupid, which are, I believe, from Weeks Dye Works. I love this one. I have a book I'm going to finish this on. I just haven't done it yet. So there is that one. Next is one of my very first finishes of the year, and this is S is for Strawberries by Little Dove Designs. If you watched my first few floss tubes, you'll know this one was a bit of a journey. I had accidentally mismeasured the fabric for a 16 count instead of a 14 count. So I had to cut the bottom off, but I love this one. Oh my gosh. I would honestly love to redo this one now on like a neutral linen and do the whole pattern. I think that would be so nice, but let me give you a close up. I stitched this on 14 count spa from Artiste, and I used DMC, and you could see I'm cutting it close. I had to cut some off of the sides too. I'm cutting it close everywhere on all the edges, but yes, I love it. It's one of my very favorite patterns I've done this year. So sweet. I love Little Dove Designs. I need to go get some more patterns from Little Dove Designs. Next one is a freebie. This is from Erin Elizabeth Designs, and I finished this one in January, I believe. And I want to say it is the winter freebie. I'm going to link her Facebook group below because that's how you get it. This one I definitely color converted, and there's places that ghost. You can't totally tell the difference in the tree colors. Like I was waiting for some floss to come in, and this is like 3 different tree colors, and it looks like 2. But I was waiting for some floss to come in, and I was like, oh, I'll just do a quick freebie. So I don't hate it. I need to fully finish it. I'm slightly scared of the dome shape, but yeah, it's really, really cute. So I will link her Facebook group below, and if you want to sign up, then you will be able to access this freebie from there. And that is on 14 count spot too, if I didn't mention that. Okay, next is a fully finished item. This is the Candy Corn House from Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. Another freebie, which I will link below. This is on 14 count coffee tea dyed Aida. I dyed the little candy corns at the bottom. Can you even with how cute that is in the little tree? I did change the year over here to 2024, which I believe I did by the chimney as well and did not mention that. It is using called for flosses, and I stitched it 2/1. We have that again Lori Hole Alpine rickracker on the sides. This was my 4th pillow, and he is a big improvement. Again, stuffed it with stuffing and beans, and this is just some fall fabric that Hobby Lobby had that I used on the back. Next is Welcome Pumpkin from Stitching with the Housewives. I stitched this on a 28 count black Jobelin, and I used a mix of the called for DMC and fancy flosses. So for the oranges, the green, I used fancy floss, and for the white, brown, blue, and yellow, I used the DMC conversion that was provided within the pattern. Finish. Next is a petal pusher pattern. Actually, this is another market pattern, and this is Saltbox Fairy Village. I stitched this on 36 count flax 1/2 using the called for flosses. A really fun stitch. She has one that's like a mermaid village, I believe, mermaid Saltbox Village, something like that I really want to get in stitch as well. It seems like a good summer stitch. So I'll probably do that then. But I'm looking for the perfect box to put this on. And since she's come out with like a few or 2 of them so far, but I'm hoping there might be more. I think it'll be really cute to find like a box at the antique store or something that I could put this on and switch it out for the seasons, at least spring and summer. So I have my eye out for that, and that's why that one has not got finished yet. Next is A House Is by A Stitch for All Seasons. This one I'm not going to show you the bottom of because this was a commemorative stitch for when we moved, and it has my old address on it, which I don't want to show you for, you know, privacy reasons. So I do have it wonder clipped to the bottom so you can't see that. But here it is. I did do a full color conversion to XG Designs flosses, and I stitched it on 28 count Seashell, which is also from XG Designs. I stitched it 2/2. Yeah, really special stitch to me. This one is another one I want to get framed this year. Yeah, because it's a very special stitch. And once we move, I definitely want this framed and on a wall just to kind of commemorate our first house. So there is that one. Next is 3 little smalls. This is from the Strange Stitchery shop, and they're called Spooky Cookies. So they're supposed to be like the Pillsbury Halloween cookies. So we have the little pumpkin. Cute. The little black cat, and these are all finished in little tart pans from 1-2-3 Stitch. I did like try to put stuff around them, but it kind of looked weird. I did put something around the little ghost, which I think is cute, but I was trying to put like green around them, like the same thing here but green, and it kind of looked like lettuce, like a garnish on a plate, so I took those off. But yeah, there are those three, which are so cute. I love them, and I like them as a little bit of a different finish. Next is my first Mill Hill Christmas Village finish. I hope to get a lot more of these finished this year. Hold on, pull it, there we go. This is the Mill Hill Village Inn. I did not stitch it on perforated paper. I stitched it on 25 count vintage country mocha using all the kitted materials and the beads. You can see, hold on, let me show you. We have some little bit of beads right there. There's beads in the tree. There's beads all down there. It is missing the snowman little button. He got lost. I don't know where he is. This was one of the patterns I kept out when we were moving, so I have a feeling he probably fell out somewhere along the way. So I'm gonna have to get that, which honestly, I don't mind it without it either. I think it's really pretty. And my first pattern with beading that I finished. So very exciting. My first experience with beading. Next is the Sampler Bird Stitchery Holiday Spirit. Now, I like this finish. I'm not in love with it. I feel like my proportions are not the best, so I'm going to go ahead and point out my flaws to you. This is on 25 count vintage country mocha, stitch 2/2, and I use spinach and Cupid, and this is another freebie pattern, so I'll link that one below. I love that freebie pattern. I actually got that pattern from Mom Loves You GB. So next is Iced Coffee Cafe, which again is fully finished. This is stitched on the 32 count of the fabric that was called for. It's called for floss, but using the DMC conversion. This is the Iced Coffee Cafe, and I finished it with a little bit of white rickrack and some pink ticking stripe, and you can see, camera's not picking it up very well, but there is white rickrack along the sides of that as well. Next is Santa Waving Goodnight. This is a Prairie Schooler pattern from the Just Cross Stitch Ornaments magazine of 2016. I did change that red to 817 to match my other Prairie Schooler Santas that I have worked on. And it's stitched on 32 count lamb's wool that I coffee tea dyed. I love how prim he is. I think he's so cute. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Love him. Next is two patterns that I stitched for my son for our Christmas tree. He really loves the Paw Patrol. So we have Rocky and Marshall. These are both free patterns, and I will have them linked below. I will say Rocky's pattern is not the clearest to read. Marshall's is a little bit better, but there are some stitches you kind of have to guess on, but it is a free pattern. So these are great. I stitched them on 14 count perforated paper 2/1, and I just love them. I did change the blue on this one to 824. They both have cording around the sides, 2-color cording. This one has, I used Vonna Pfeiffer's tutorial for both of them to finish them. This one has scrapbook paper on the back with a little green button and some rickrack. And then this one, I put red felt on the back with a little orange button to kind of bring the orange from the front. And I just did a little bit of cording for the hanger on him. Next is One Child by Nancy Waller of Faithworks Designs. This is one I very recently finished. It's stitched 2/2 on 25 count RT steel blue. I did switch out the crown it called for DMC Etoile, and this is from the Just Cross Stitch Ornaments magazine 2024. Now we have a little bit of a Halloween finish. This is the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, A Candy a Day. This is stitched on 14 count Design Works light blue, 2/2 using the called for flosses. And then we have 3 Peacocks, which is also freebie. This is from Heartstring Samplery. The fabric on this one is 32 count vellum using the called for flosses, and I stitched it 2/2. I do want to stitch a summer spring color palette of this as well, so it feels very fall winter to me. There is that one. That's one of my New Year's stitching goals. Next one is Christmas Goodies, also by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Get a good focus on that one. There we go. It's a little bit better. This is stitched on 32 count Peaceful Purple 2/2. I did use a little bit of a floss conversion on this one, and I will put that down below because I don't have it right off the top of my head, but I'll put that down below. Anything that's not mentioned or any floss conversion or anything will be down below. And if there's anything I forgot to mention, just comment down below and I will try and do my best to find that information. Okay, now we have another stitching with the Housewives. This was one I finished at the beginning of the year. It is Strawberry Picking. I stitched on 14 count chalkboard black Aida using the called for DMC conversion. Super cute. Yeah, really like that one. That was my first time doing French knots. So they're not the cleanest French. That one especially was my very first one. But they got better as I went along. And there were some French knots. I think this pattern had French knots. I thought it did. Maybe not. Oh, yeah. They're tone-on-tone French knots. So you can't see them very well. But that one has French knots too. My French knots have improved a lot. Like looking at this, my French knots have improved so much. I'm so proud of myself for my French knot improvement. All right. And then lastly, I have Blueberry Lane by the French Giraffe. Using all the called for flosses, I stitched this on 14 count copy T-dot Aida. And I just love this one. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I love it so much. Honestly, it would make a really cute ornament. I should turn that into an ornament. Super cute. Love that one. All right, so there are all my finishes for 2024. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a snack and something to drink. My whip parade will be coming very soon, so stay tuned for that. I can't wait to film it as well. Thank you so much for everyone who has tuned in to any day of Flosmas, whether you've watched them all or you've watched one and this is the only one you've watched and you have no idea what my other videos are, and you're just finding me. Hello, my name is Lizzie. Thank you so much for watching. I can't believe it's the end of 2024 and I've been doing this for almost all year. I started in March. Super thankful for you, and I'll do a little bit of a gushy thing towards the end of the year. I'm not doing it in this video, but thank you so much for joining me for Flosmas. I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. It's only 2 days away. I will see you in my next video, which will be a whip parade, which will be coming around New Year's. So enjoy your Christmas, everyone. I hope you get lots of stitchy goodies and spend lots of time with the people you love. Bye, guys.